that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Padme Amidala.
So I think literally the exact same intro last time we did Who Are You?
Is it the same quote?
I might even be the same quote, but definitely the same fake answer.
And also,
we always do that.
Definitely the terrible accent that goes from some type of British into just John talking.
One time we did a pretty good one. This was, I think it was a long time ago. But anyway, welcome back, everybody. It is TRB. It is the Resistance Broadcast, the official podcast of StarWarsNewsNet.com. I'm John. How are you guys? Thank you so much for joining us today. It is Thursday. It is our discussion show. We got Will of the Force. Why? It's back, baby! And we are bringing back our game, Who Are You? That is our Star Wars movie quote guessing game, where this week, you see her right there, Lacey Gillerin, going to be giving the quotes to me and James Baney as he and I duke it out to see who is going to be this week's victor. James, Lacey, how you guys doing? James, are you like amped up like a guy walking to the ring, like ready to throw down? Or are you like nervous? Because I got to be honest, I didn't get to study that much. So I'm just kind of going in like, let's see what happens here. How you feeling about this?
I would say there's a little bit of amped, but also kind of lazy, so I'm kind of lamp right now. Kind of lamped.
Well, I'm gonna turn your lights out.
Yeah. I did some studying, a little bit.
Okay.
I went to a couple sites and took a couple quizzes just to see how I did, and hopefully some of the non-obvious ones will be in my recent memory. If she happens to pull from one of those, so.
Lacey, did you get all real quotes this time?
Haha, very funny. First of all, I am so excited to not be doing this game, and I know a lot of the comments in the section under the video, the comment section, where Lacey looks like she's in pain. Lacey doesn't want to be doing this. I feel so sorry for her. Lacey looks so uncomfortable. Well, guess what? Not today, because I'm not doing it. And yes, my quotes are legit, because as I always say, I did my research.
Right. Well, it's always a fun game, and we know you guys like it when we play it because you get to play along and you get to brag about how much better you did than us. Your quotes were too easy. I can't believe you missed that, all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, it's fun, and that's what this is all about. A lot of times we forget that, and especially during these times, things are just crazy out there, and we just figured, let's bring back Who Are You? Let's have some fun. Let's play the game, and we hope you guys play along, and good luck to you out there as well. And who do you think's going to win, me or James? We'll find out in a little bit, right?
Me.
Yeah. Well, before we do that, though, we do have to get into Will of the Force. James, you run that operation, so where is our buddy, Mr. Imwe?
I fear nothing, for all this, as the Force wills it.
The operation is running, John. I got this operation on rundown. Dang it, a failure. First day on the job, too. All right, no, we got, how many questions we got this week? 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. 2 of them are coming from Resistance officers, as to be expected. It's another reason to join our Patreon, is because you get to submit the questions. First one, in fact, is coming from Resistance officer Micah Harrison. Micah wants to know, will the concept of canon eventually get Disney into enough trouble where they decanonize comics or other types of stories to free up specific stories or time frames for live action stories, I guess. So I'm going to jump to Lacey first on this one. Lacey, are they ever going to start being like, hey, I want to tell this story, but you already told it, kind of, or there's some clashing things. Can we just get rid of that, please?
No, they will never do that. And the reason because Matt Martin from the Story Group recently tweeted an article about how canon doesn't need to be as important as everyone makes it out to be. And if it's coming from someone from Story Group being like, yes, this, Like, I can't help but be like, I mean, he's kind of right. Like, as long as you like the story, does it matter if it's canon or not? Like, does it really need to be this crazy, like, let's analyze every single piece and detail of Star Wars? I don't have time to be analyzing every single aspect of Star Wars. I just like having fun and talking about it and watching the movies, but I don't get into the nitty gritty. And I know that some people really enjoy that, and that's fine. But I don't think ever Disney's going to stop doing what they want to do because a comic said something. They're just going to be like, oh, they're both true. I just don't see that being a problem.
So let me get this straight. Then you're saying they will do this?
No, they won't.
They won't.
They won't decanonize anything. It is what it is.
Okay. I think that's kind of confusing for me. But let's jump over to John. What do you think?
I think I understood what Lacey meant. I went into this thinking that they would. If they feel like if a new president comes into Lucasfilm and they're like, they have a lot of trust from Disney on what they want to do. Mm-hmm. And they're like, look, I want to do a Darth Vader movie. And they're like, well, we already told these stories in a comic, and the comic sold 8,000 copies. They're going to be like, well, that's gone. Or something, And not to, disparage the author or who put it together, but if they want to make a $1.5 billion grossing Darth Vader movie, and you're going to say they can't because there was a comic run that took place in the time they want to do it, Disney's going to be like, you want to get rid of that comic? You can get rid of that comic. So I'm not saying they're going to, across the board, do a sweep and say, any of these things you read are not a part of the real story or whatever. But I could see them taking something and saying, we're going to kind of push that aside, or we have no problem doing something that counteracts an event that happened in the comic. Because we've already seen that happen. We saw The Last Jedi have Poe and Rey meet, and we know darn well in the novelization of The Force Awakens they meet. So it's kind of already happened in little bits and pieces here and there. So if they see it and they want it and they want to make a change, I could see it happening, especially if there's a turnover in who's in charge.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very real answer. I still think, in general, though, if you just want to look at like their slate, I think they're wanting to kind of move away from the eras and the stories that they've been telling. So if they move into Rian Johnson territory, they move into like whatever the new stories are going to be territory, then yeah, you've heard of him, right? You know who that is? Okay, he's kind of a big deal in Star Wars.
He's that brick guy.
Yeah. And I think that there's going to be a lot of storytelling opportunities that Lucasfilm is going to want to take that have nothing to do with crossovers, like, whatever. They're going to want to tell stories about the Knights of the Old Republic because that's the new movie that they're doing and all of the spanning characters from there. And I don't think they're going to be pressing anytime soon after that Knights of the Old Republic movie to come back and do that Darth Vader movie that you were talking about. Although, I mean, you're right. Things fail, things change, new operation, very real answer. But let's get into the second one here. Will the mysterious character who walked up to Fennec Shand on Tatooine be a familiar character or someone new? And if you say familiar, take a guess at who it is. John, I'm going to bounce right back at you, snake style. What do you think?
I think it's someone new. I think it's going to be Michael Bihn's character, and I think that is the deal. So I do not think it's going to be someone familiar. So the question was, will it be... Oh, well, one or the other. So, yeah, it will be someone new.
Yep. All right, Lacey, what do you think? New or familiar?
I agree with John. I think it's going to be Michael Bihn's character. It'll be a new character.
Well,
yeah,
thank you.
I'm 100% with you guys. I don't know if it's the fact that this is kind of like leaked, like we've kind of seen.
You usually
what this
go
might
the new
be.
route, though. I thought you were going to say new.
My thing is though, I feel like it's almost not. Yeah, it's almost like we've already been shown. Because we have this person, he fits a certain style. It's kind of leaked what he's going to look like. It just kind of makes sense, that
Watch,
they
it's
were.
Boba Fett now.
I know, yeah, we're all wrong. So I think that's it. Does anybody want to take a stab at it's not that, it's not a new character. If it was someone we've seen, are we all going to say Boba Fett?
It's Michael Bihn's character.
If I had to guess someone that would be familiar,
Blaster to your head.
You might as well say Boba Fett. Go
Boba
big.
Fett, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No fun there. We all kind of agree on that one too.
Free bird.
All right. Next, Wonderwall.
Freebird.
All right. Next question is from another Resistance officer. So, thanks for getting it in. The question comes from Commander Christopher Anderson, and Christopher wants to know: Will immediate streaming of new movies due to the virus outbreak change the way Star Wars films are presented in the future? This is a big topic, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit on Patreon, but I want to talk about it now. Lacey, you're going to start this one off. You think it's going to change anything?
I don't think so. I think that it will not, because Star Wars is the tent pole is the movies, so they're going to keep making movies. I think right now they don't know what those movies are, if I'm being honest, so it's hard to say like, yes, they're going to keep making movies, because they don't even know. But if they continue to make movies, which I think they will, they're going to release those in the theaters, and then maybe we'll quickly release them to Disney Plus first, but they're going to go to the movies.
John.
Star Wars is a funny thing, man. And you just look at the Rise of Skywalker itself. I was going to reach for it. It's too far over there. But it, just so everyone knows, it's been sitting next to The Last Jedi for a week, and I haven't heard a peep out of the two of them. So in my house, they get along. That's all I'm going to say. But I think Star Wars is different. Even people who don't like a Star Wars movie is buying it because they need to complete their collection. And if you follow me with this point, they're still going to do that tiered structure. I think it's always going to be in the theaters as long as theaters exist, and I think they will. Star Wars is a big family event. It's different. People dress up. They go. They stand in line. They talk to other fans. It is the mecca of movie-going theater experiences. Star Wars is that. It almost created that with its first film. So I always think it will live there. I think that's very important to Star Wars. I think as soon as you take a Star Wars big budget movie and slap it onto Disney Plus, you immediately destroy the spectacle that is Star Wars films. They have that. That is always going to be special. And the moment you change that, it shatters it. So then from there, they won't slap it on Disney Plus right away because they want to sell your Blu-rays and stuff like that, because the people even who don't like the movies are like, oh, well, all right, I got to buy it because it's got to fit on the shelf next to the rest of them. And then they're going to go to Disney Plus. So I really do not think they're going to change how they present Star Wars films.
Man, I'm right in the middle, because I'm kind of one of those things where I'm like, at the end of the day, I really truly believe we're probably just as a society going to be able to fix things, go right back to normal, and get back to that and be like, that was a really weird time. But I'm also a little bit like, if theaters do close and there's this big shift, I kind of want to be like, at the same time, like, I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. It was the precipice of us switching over to this new like digital format and embracing just home release. And if the studios can right now, if they find a way to make the same amount of money that they're making, just giving it to people in this other method, then they don't need a middleman. Disney they didn't get rid of, but they just found a way to go direct to consumer, and they know that that's good. They found that leverage there, and they say they're going to stay in theaters, but maybe the theaters collapse. I don't know. I'm just interested to see when they announce the numbers of like, hey, we made this much money or whatever on these movies, that like Trolls World Tour went to whatever, or like what happens. Here's another question just for you guys, just to bounce it back and have some fun. What if Star Wars came out on the day that Onward came out. Like, The Rise of Skywalker came out the day that Onward came out. 1 week later, it's all the theaters shut down. What would they do?
They'd probably release it to Disney Plus. Because
I
they
mean,
can't
it's just
shift
because...
Because they can't shift it back. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, the world just kind of sets the precipice for a company that should be releasing theaters and movies.
Sure, but
they're
I mean,
forced
this is
their
Will the
hand.
Force. All I'm gonna say is this is a once in a century pandemic. So I don't believe in tailoring existence around something that we're gonna get past. And maybe, that's my optimistic view on it. Yeah. I think one day we're going to look back on this and be like, this was a crazy time, but we lived on just like we always do when things happen.
Yeah. All right. One more question then. Who will be the president of Lucasfilm 2 years from now? That is not a Will of the Force question, John. That's a Who of the Force. But you get first dibs of this.
Who will?
Who will of the Force? All right.
Go, John.
Yeah, I said John.
Kevin Feige.
I hate that. Whatever you just did was not good. That noise.
John, you just
Kevin
should have set a
Feige,
precedent for the awkward silence that's inevitably coming in Who Are You?
Yes.
So stick with us when we get there. Lacey, do you think it will be Kevin Feige or somebody else?
I mean, who else could it be? I would want to jump and say, oh, it's going to be Jon Favreau because that's what I want, but that doesn't mean
me too.
But he'd be like, no, I'd rather have fun and make fun projects than be the lead of something. And I can't see it being Dave Filoni because he doesn't know the business side. So the only person to fall back on is Kevin Feige.
What about Kennedy? No.
She's going to be out after the
yeah.
She's going to retire on her own terms.
So there's a real answer to this, and I don't have the knowledge to give it, which is it's going to be Bob so and so who is moving
Another
up
Bob?
from yeah, exactly, from live action something, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say if there was like a weird answer, like maybe Michelle Rejwan, right? She's charge of live action development, moving up.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that because then it would have been funny if none of us said Michelle Rejwan.
Yeah. I think I'm probably in the boat too, where I think like Kathleen Kennedy will probably do her like famed, like, hey man, I did 4 movies over $1 billion,
Right.
And there you go. I'm leaving it at that. But I think if I gave a popular fun answer, I think Kevin Feige. I mean, I would love, he's done so good over at Marvel. Please just bring some of that energy. I don't even care if you're like making mistakes. Like, I feel like if you were doing, if Star Wars is doing half as good as the production of how much content they're getting out, like, we're winning. So
right.
yeah.
And not only that, how transparent they are at Marvel.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Feige's like, here's everything we're doing.
Oh.
And then like even the stuff that wasn't listed, he was just like, oh, Black Panther 2, yup. Captain Marvel 2, yup. Blade,
I love that presentation.
Yeah.
I love that presentation.
It was
we
so
didn't
good.
even have time to talk to you about this.
Yeah.
We didn't have time to talk to you about this. And he's just like throwing it out.
And then he's like, oh, and then Blade.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he Steve Jobs it by going, and there's one more thing. And he just like drives it home by bringing out Mahershala Ali.
And that's all people were talking about. Like, he's the king of showmanship and being honest with the fans and giving the fans what they want, because he knows that if he's honest and transparent and tells them everything on the table, they'll keep hyping it for him.
And he's a bigger Star Wars fan than he is of Marvel.
And he's producing a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Shoo. Yeah, no. But it's probably going to be Bob from marketing and whatever.
Yeah.
Bob Iger then just switches roles. He's like, I am now the head of Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Robert Lucasfilm. All right. That's it for Will of the Force. Let's get into the Patreon pod race. Lacey.
Hey guys, it's time for the Patreon pod race. So this is the segment where there are lots of ways you can support us. Liking this video, commenting, subscribing, making sure your notifications are on so you know when every new video comes out, following us on Twitter at RBATSWNN, lots of other ways, including joining us on Patreon at patreon.com/resistancebroadcast. We have different tiers starting at $2 all the way up to our top tier, which are generals, and with a lot of perks of cool content, exclusive videos, mailings, and much more. And as part of the general tier, you can become a part of the show, and this is the pod race. So we give our generals a minute to answer a question, and then we respond to it. So this week was General Carmelo, and he's in España. And we asked him, you are managing a team in a 3-on-3 lightsaber battle tournament. You can pick any 3 characters in Star Wars history. Which 3 do you pick, and briefly explain why you picked them? Mello, take it away.
Hello guys, and greetings from España. First thing I want to say is I hope you guys are safe, taking care of yourself and each other. And if you haven't, please do so. Because from somebody who's in a place that's been hurting a lot because of this virus, please take the necessary precautions for you and yours to be safe. Okay, let's have some fun. I'm trying to keep myself healthy, both mentally and physically. And you guys have been helping a lot, so thank you for that. Okay. 3-on-3, and I am the manager. First, I'm going to need somebody that can take damage. I'm going to take Vader for that because he's Vader. He's strong, sturdy, and quite valiant. So we need somebody that can take a lot of damage. Second, I'm going to need somebody to lead the team, and that's going to be Luke Skywalker. Why? Because he's Luke. He can deal damage, he's smart, and he can do what's necessary. And finally, it's going to be Ahsoka. She's quick, agile, and she can strike when nobody can see her. So that's my team. Hope everyone is great, and adios. Viva la Resistance.
Awesome job, Mello. We hope you're doing well as well.
Mm-hmm.
We also hope
Well.
your family is safe and healthy. We are doing the same thing here. I haven't left my house in over a month. So we are doing well, and we're so happy that you love all the content we're putting out, and we love your support. Getting on to your answer, John, what did you think?
I love that Mello's first attribute is, can they take damage or handle damage?
Yeah.
I love that. He
plays video games.
And he's also a very defensive mind. All right, I'm gonna get attacked. I'm not the attacker. Which
you gotta
is
have a tank, right?
Which is
the correct term?
which is a Jedi trait: knowledge and defense, not never attack.
Mm-hmm.
But I was getting not Mortis vibes directly, but it kind of Vader's the father and Ahsoka and Luke are the son and the daughter in a way. I know Leia should be there, but Ahsoka was the apprentice of Darth Vader. But I liked your choices. Made sense. I mean, you got to throw Darth Vader in there, right? You have to. I'm not sure who I would pick to answer for another time, to quote Maz Kanata, I guess, speaking of quotes. But Mello, again, like Lacey said, to double down, thanks for your warm wishes, and I hope you are doing well as well over in Spain. And I know it's really crazy over there too. So we're dealing with our stuff here in the U.S. I know we have listeners everywhere, but I know Spain's pretty nuts. So keep doing well, and I hope your family and kids are doing well too. But thanks for being a general. Thanks for all your support, and once again, great pod race, man.
James?
Yeah, I like that. I like the answer. I like the choices. I think now we don't know this for sure, but I think the one that I would swap out Ahsoka for Palpatine, just because I think, man, Return of the Jedi, Palpatine, Vader, Luke Skywalker in the same room, you got to think that is the 3 most powerful people in the entire galaxy. And they're all in the same room, and they're all wearing black. You know?
All right, they already have a uniform.
Yeah. So I just think that team, like, I know Luke wouldn't want to fight for him, but say he turned to the dark side and they all had a handshake agreement that they were not going to try to kill each other. Done. Everyone, right?
Yeah.
So, so that's my choice. But I really like your answers, and I definitely know you like the Grey Jedi thing. So I think Ahsoka being in there as well is like a good bridge between those two characters. So yeah, I love it. Good choice.
Yeah, I loved your answers too. The funny thing is, if you gave these answers years ago before Rogue One and said Vader, I'd be like, why? He's so slow. And then you see Rogue One where he just mows people down, and then you're like, oh, okay, I get it. And then Luke, like you said, is the leader. Makes sense. He is like the perfect leader if you look at him before The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And then Ahsoka, yeah, she's agile, she's quick, she's fierce, she has 2 lightsabers, so I think your team is solid. Well done. Again, thank you for your support, and now we're gonna head to John to intro our game.
Okay, guys, the game is called Who Are You?
Who are you?
It is our Star Wars movie quote guessing game. Who are you? We have this week, it is quotes gathered by Lacey, who will host the segment, as James and I will be facing off. Lacey will give us both the same 9 quotes, one at a time, from Star Wars movies, and we will have to guess who said them. We will have to each write down our guesses and show it and say it at the same time on Lacey's count to 3. Each question is worth 2 points. Each of us gets a hint to use. The hint is always what movie the quote is from. If the person guesses right after using a hint, that quote is now only worth 1 point for the person who requested the hint. If the other person gets it right, they still get the 2 points because it was the other person who asked for the hint. The person with the highest score at the end of 9 rounds is the winner. If there is a tie, each question thereafter is sudden death. Play along with us. Let us know in the comments or on Twitter at RBATSWNN how you did and whether you beat us or not. But definitely comment and let us know either way. Wherever, however, let us know, because that's part of the fun. So make sure you do play along. Get your pens and papers or whatever you're jotting your stuff down in. All right, so Lacey, are you ready to destroy us?
I am ready to have some fun and not stress.
Lacey
I'm
wins
excited
no
for that.
matter what.
I do win. Now, I have gotten a comment before the last time I hosted that I was obnoxious, so I'm going to try to not to do that. I'm going to try not...
When did I say that?
I'm going to try to not be obnoxious. Okay, so you guys ready for quote number 1? Are you ready? The quote...
James, good luck to you.
Good luck to you too.
So just so everyone at home knows, because I've gotten quite the reputation on this game, I watched YouTube clips. I also cross-referenced via Disney Plus. So these are legit quotes. And the funny thing is then we talked about show notes, and they were like, why didn't you read this? And I was like, I spent 6 hours on quotes. Okay, anyway.
I laughed in the intro because I remembered Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
Already being obnoxious. All right, so question 1 or quote 1 is, quote, I shouldn't have come back. I shouldn't have come back is the first quote of this edition of Who Are You?
I feel like there's more to that quote.
There is not.
No, I know. I'm just in my brain.
I actually tried to pick quotes that didn't have like more to it. It's like a statement by the character and then another character responds so that there wouldn't be any confusion.
Yeah, like you shouldn't have come back is ringing out in my head. I shouldn't have come back.
So quarantine's going great, guys. I've watched Tiger King. It's wonderful.
This is Lacey's podcast, 40 minutes.
I'm just trying to be respectful, but also not have there be dead air while also trying not to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
So it's like this battle, you know?
James, weren't you gonna put music in the background too?
I don't know. I mean, we maybe, but I feel that music would be so obnoxious by the end of like 30 minutes. You're like, it's the same song.
All right, say the quote one more time.
The quote is, "I shouldn't have come back."
Man, I think I'm changing my answer.
Maybe we should consider having like a time limit or something. This is just a side note, so that we don't just sit here.
Right.
But I wonder how you guys are doing at home already. Some people are probably like, "I got this."
I don't know, so I'm just gonna.
Yep, let's just do it, John. It's okay to
All
get
right.
Okay.
the first one wrong.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
And 1, 2, 3.
Jin.
Anakin Skywalker.
Did you both say Anakin?
I crossed out Anakin.
What'd you say?
I said Jin.
Oh, Jin. It is Padme Amidala.
Oh.
So the scene for the people at home that are going, wait, what? First of all, yes, I started with a Padme quote on purpose. Second of all, it is at the beginning of
That's
Attack of
ridiculous.
It is at the beginning of Attack of the Clones when Corte gets killed and she's looking down at her body.
Bade.
You said Corte too. I think it's Corday.
Whatever. That girl dies, and then she goes, "I shouldn't have come back."
Jine Erso, I think, is who said it.
I say everything wrong. Give me a break.
All right, number 2.
Anakin.
I wrote Anakin too, though. That was
Yeah.
my first. Yeah.
All right.
It is a very Anakin-y quote. All right. Are you guys ready for the second quote?
Yeah.
So the score is 0-0. John's
Yep.
keeping score. Okay. The second quote is, "Doesn't sound so bad to me." Doesn't sound so bad to me. So we're getting into our second quote of the day. Having fun. First one's a Padme quote. That was for Brian Pothier at home.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian loves that bit. So that whole that whole
loves it.
Padme thing started with
I got
think-
no. So it started with, I said a quote from Padme and it was wrong, and then Star Wars put up that quote as her quote, and I was like, "See, I told you."
Yeah, even Star Wars got it wrong.
It was so embarrassing, but I felt vindicated
Yeah.
because of it.
I can't believe that happened, to be honest with you. It's surprising that you got it wrong, but then it's even more surprising that an official capacity thing got it wrong too.
That was early on when I wasn't double checking via video clips. So then the funny thing is, then I got into checking with video clips, and someone had subtitled the clips wrong. So then I got that wrong. So here we are.
James,
Anyway.
were you good?
Yeah, I think I got a guess, but I'm not sure.
All right.
Okay, one
Yeah.
more time for the people at home. The quote is, "Doesn't sound so bad to me." You guys ready?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Han
Han.
Solo.
It is K2SO from Rogue One. It's when
Yeah.
Jin talks
now.
about how, "I don't want you to come with us because I'm not afraid if they hit you. I'm afraid if they miss and hit me." And then she gives him the backpack, and she goes around him and he goes, "Doesn't sound so bad to me," and drops the backpack.
Yeah, because Han says something very close to this in Return of the Jedi when they're about to be executed. He says, like, "That doesn't sound so bad."
He might have said,
actually
"That
not-
doesn't sound so bad." This is, "Doesn't sound so bad." to
Yeah,
me."
sure, maybe, but I didn't even think of that scene, John. I thought of it in A New Hope when they were both wearing stormtrooper outfits or something, and I just sounded. He was like, "You got to come with me," and he's like, "I don't know, it doesn't sound so bad," I don't know. Anyway,
Okay. I honestly think you guys are going to get the next one. I
Great.
did pepper in
Pressure.
some
Off to
one.
a Great start here.
I
on
did
Who Are
pepper
You.
in some quotes that I thought, let's not do all random statements that anybody could say.
Well, so far these first two are on posters everywhere, bumper stickers. Like these are staple Star Wars.
They're gonna be.
quotes.
We're gonna make some bumper stickers.
All right. Number 3. Check the deflector shield. The quote is, check the deflector shield.
Pilot number 6.
I only used main characters.
I'm just kidding around. Oh boy.
For the people at home, one more time, check the deflector shield.
All right.
And yeah,
Anyway.
I didn't state that at the beginning. I only used main characters for these. All main characters.
What's considered
Alright.
main? I don't know.
Like main characters.
Well, it could be that we should. Yeah, it could be anybody who we know, right?
Yeah. Like it's not pilot number 3. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like people with actual names.
But it could be Akbar, and he's not a main character. It's
Sure,
someone-
absolutely. I'm saying
All
it's
right.
not pilot
I have
number
a
3.
guess.
Okay, ready?
James,
One more
wait,
time.
James, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
One
I'm
more
laughing for a different
time.
reason.
What are you laughing at?
Go, please.
Oh, for the people at home, the quote is, check the deflector shield. And ready? 1, 2, 3.
Akbar.
Han Solo.
It is Han Solo from
Is
The
it
Empire
really?
Strikes Back.
Dang it.
It's when Leia's in the cockpit and they're trying to get away.
Okay.
About damn time.
Dang it.
So now for the people at home, the score is 1-0.
2.
I thought it was when they were headed into
Oh, sorry, 2.
blow up the second Death Star. He's like, we need to pull off. And he's like, they can't be jamming us. Check the deflector shield or something.
It was the same scene where he says, shut him up or shut him down. That
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I
that
couldn't
one-
use that one because
that
it's too
one.
easy.
That one I felt like I got when they're being chased by the Star Destroyers in the asteroid field and all that stuff.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So,
On the board.
Yay, my quotes aren't so hard. All right. Quote 4.
James is like, screw you.
Yeah, I'm like 0, 0, 0.
Okay, but I would feel so bad if you didn't get any of them, either of you.
James is like,
I'm like, that's exactly where I'm at. So, all right.
But the
It's fine.
crazy thing
It's
is,
better than getting all of them. Or, yeah, getting all of them.
but to be honest, James, I picked the K2SO one thinking James is probably going to get this. This is probably a throwaway. And then I put a Han
Yeah.
Solo in there thinking John's probably going to get this. It's Han Solo.
Yeah.
I tried to be a little fair. Okay. So 4 is, quote, the Senate is expected to vote more executive powers to the Chancellor today. One more time. The Senate is expected to vote more executive powers to the Chancellor today. So this is a more technical quote. Old technical. Not just hi,
I think
as
I got
John
this one.
says.
Gosh, I don't.
I could be wrong, but I need to learn to trust my first gut. Because I feel like when I hear a quote, it like triggers something in my memory, and then I abandon that thought, and then I just
Say it again, Lacey.
Sure. The quote is, the Senate is expected to vote more executive powers to the Chancellor today.
All right, I got a name.
All right. So, people at home, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Mace Windu.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It is Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it is Revenge of the Sith. And Anakin shows up, and that's what he says to him.
All right.
When he's like, "Be careful of your friend Palpatine" or whatever.
I think so. It's when he's
At least I knew it was the
ends.
prequels.
All
The
right.
Chancellor in the
Yeah.
sequel trilogy.
Well, that was the other thing. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw some quotes in here that obviously determine the time period, but you don't know which of.
That's good though. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's good.
All right. So the score right now is 4-0, John. The next quote is number 5, and the quote is, I'm going to get us in position. Stay sharp. I'm going to get us in position. Stay sharp. That is the quote. We are on quote number 5 of 9.
I'm going to get us in position. Stay sharp.
I find that when I play this game, besides having a mental breakdown, I often write the right thing, cross it out, then make 2 other decisions. And then when you say what my first choice was, I'm like, there it is, crossed out. But,
I'm going to get us in position. Stay sharp. Jeez.
But it's always fun to read the comments and stuff with you guys. Definitely comment below on what you're getting, because I love seeing like people are like, I didn't get one right, and then someone's like, I got all of them right, and I'm like, you're awesome, because it is tricky when you're on the spot.
All right. I have a guess, but that's saying it loosely.
James, do you need more time, or do you want me to read it one more time? Or
I don't know, you know?
this is so this is 5 of 7 for the people at home. It's I'm going to get us in position. Stay
And I
sharp.
feel like the name I have is like, it's not going to happen. So
5 of 7. What are you talking about?
Sorry, 5 of 9. Sorry, I was looking at the number 7 when I said
You want
that.
the game to be ended sooner? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was looking at it. I do that where I see something and I'm looking at it and I say what I'm looking at.
No, yeah, I know. I'm just busting chops.
All right, you guys ready?
nope. Yep.
No.
Did you write a name down?
Yeah, that's wrong. I already know it's
Mine's
wrong.
wrong too, I think. But
All right, one more time for the people at home. The quote is, I'm going to get us in position. Stay sharp. And ready? 1, 2, 3.
Luke Skywalker.
Han Solo.
It is Poe Dameron in The Force Awakens at the beginning when him and Finn are in the TIE Fighter. And he says to Finn, I'm going to get us in position. Stay sharp.
Oh, right at the beginning when he busts them out.
Correct.
Ah, I thought it was Luke on Hoth with like talking to Dak.
I mean, maybe. They've definitely said stay sharp, I think, other places, but
Who'd you say, James? Han?
Yeah, for literally almost no reason.
it does sound kind of Han-y. Like
But I
Han.
just, it was such a bad choice though, because we already had a Han, and I feel like you're not good at making it random. You kind of even it out, so you wouldn't put 2 Han quotes.
Yeah, I try to mix it up. All right.
All right.
So we're still 4-0, right, John?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. It's okay, James. Plenty of quotes left. Okay, quote number 6. Quote, I was beginning to wonder if you got my message. I was beginning to wonder if you got my message. Is the quote. It is number 6 of 9. So,
Oh God. I can like hear it in my head, but I can't place it.
I hope the people at home are having fun, enjoying my quotes that are actual correct quotes.
They're probably crushing us.
It's different when you're on the spot, though. It definitely is. Like when you're sitting here being like, oh no, oh no, oh no. If we were sitting casually, like at a restaurant, I'm sure we'd just be able to rattle them off.
I don't know. Say it again.
Sure. The quote, which is number 6 of 9, is, I was beginning to wonder if you got my message.
Man. James, you got anything on this?
I have a name written down, but I almost feel like it's stupid again.
Nothing stupid. Nothing
Oh,
stupid.
wait a minute. Oh. No.
I would just go with what your get is. You can also you still have your hints. You can still use your hint. 4-0. Still with this 4 quotes left.
I'm You know what? I will take a hint.
Okay, John is using his hint, so if
Yeah.
he gets it right, it's only worth half, which would be 1 point. The hint is Attack
Hey,
of the
whoop.
Clones.
Oh, so I get the hint too.
You do. It's a
Yeah, but-
strategic move.
You still get 2 points if you get it right. I get
Correct.
docked if I get it right. So it's Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
And say the quote again, please.
The quote is, I was beginning to wonder if you got my message.
Oh, All right.
I also have to be fair to these guys for the people at home. I read these completely wrong.
You know what though? I have to try to, and I don't want you to tell me one way or the other. I have to, in my brain, wonder if you doubled up on any characters in these or not. I don't want to know whether you did or not because that throws the game off. But in my
No,
head,
absolutely. That's a question because James was just questioning that before.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, say the quote one more time, then I'll throw a name in and.
All right. One more time. The quote is number 6 of 9. I was beginning to wonder if you got my message.
Okay. All right. You know what?
And one more time for the people at home. The hint that John cashed in on is Attack of the Clones.
All right. All right.
Are you ready? And 1, 2, 3.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
Correct. It is Obi-Wan Kenobi as they're getting tied up to be in the tournament space. And he goes, I was beginning to wonder if you got my message. And he goes, we came to rescue you. And he goes, how's that working out? Type thing.
Yeah, I feel like all Obi-Wan did in that movie was communicate via like,
Sarcasm.
electronics in that movie from wherever he was. All right, so I got 1 there. James got 2.
Correct. So we are now at 5-2 with 3 quotes left. Number 7. The quote is, you make it so difficult sometimes. The quote is, you make it difficult. You make it so difficult sometimes. So we're at quote 7 of 9. And I hope you guys are having fun at home with our quote game, which is a huge... People really like this game. They talk about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
John, I got an answer, so.
Okay,
I got an
cool.
answer.
And the quote one more time for the people at home is, you make it so difficult sometimes. 1, 2, 3.
Leia.
It is Leia from Empire Strikes Back. And he goes, you like it because I'm a scoundrel.
He says, I know I really do.
Yeah. It's the kiss scene, basically.
So.
All right.
I can't win? No, I can
John.
win.
John's at
I have to get the
7.
next 2, and he has to miss one of them.
Correct. So he has 7, you have 4. Right, John?
Yeah, I have 7. He has 4. If I miss and he gets the next 2, he wins.
All right. So number 8 of 9, the quote is, the galaxy may need a hero. Oh, no. The galaxy may need a legend. The galaxy may need a legend.
I think I got this.
Dang it.
One more time. The galaxy may need a legend. I said hero because I have that song stuck in my head now. I need a hero.
Oh.
Hero. Okay. So this is 8 out of 9. Current score is 7-4.
James, you got anything down?
I do have a name.
What's in a name? Are you guys want to flip or do you want more time?
I'm good.
Um,
if he needs more time, so far, to recap a little bit, we've had all different types of movies. So the way that I picked my quotes is actually, I got the idea from James, is that I assign the movies a number, and then I use a random number generator to then pick my order of those movies, and then I find quotes. Which Disney Plus came in mad clutch with this game today. So far we've had Attack of the Clones, Rogue One, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, The Force Awakens, Attack of the Clones, The Empire Strikes Back.
So
just how
I
it
have
happens.
a name, but it's kind of one of those things where like I don't remember this person saying it, but I think it sounds like it would come from this character. So I think
Sure.
this is it. This is for the game for me. If I get it wrong, I lose.
All right. One more time.
And John
sorry.
knows it. So that sucks.
He might.
I might not. Yeah. I think I do, but I don't
The
know.
quote is, "The
Thanks,
galaxy may need a legend." You guys ready?
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3.
Luke Skywalker.
Right?
It is Rey in The Last Jedi.
That's it. Game over.
Well, for the fun of it, do you want to go quote 9?
Yeah, we gotta finish the game.
I hate
also have
this
other
stupid
quotes.
point system. It's so dumb.
All
What are you
right.
laughing at?
It was a funny statement. Okay. Quote number 9 for the people at home to see if they get 9 out of 9 is, "How do you find us?"
You know why I said that, right?
No.
Because John has 9 right now out of 9 questions. So it makes it seem like he got every one of them right. And our gap doesn't show that we're only like 1 or 2 questions apart. It makes it look like he ran away with it. I just think it's a dumb system. I've always thought that.
He didn't run away with it though.
Yeah, but you
Well,
don't
the
know
only-
that when you say 9 to 4.
The only reason why we did 2 for each question
Is the hint.
because of the hint.
And the hint is stupid too. It doesn't work.
It worked for me.
There's no point. No, it didn't.
Yeah, I got it right because of the hint.
All right. Last question. How do you find us? How'd
Oh.
you find us?
I know this. Wait, no, I don't.
Does John, put
probably
away your
don't.
game play.
Oh, all right. You want to just throw them out there then?
All right. 1, 2.
I don't have an
Great.
answer.
Oh, guess.
Why'd you tell me to put away my gameplay?
Because you're like, I know that. No, I don't know this.
That's
and
not
it's like,
shtick, dude.
Get
I don't
out
do
of
shtick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not doing shtick.
You're
Guys,
totally doing
just
shtick.
guess who it is. Just say who it is. Say.
Finn.
James, who'd you think it was?
I didn't. So Finn.
It's Finn in The Rise of Skywalker talking
Good,
to
I
Lando.
got that right.
I still have 5 bonus questions if you guys want to go into overtime.
No.
All right. Guys.
If this game comes back, I'm reworking the pointing system.
All right, that's fine. You still got answers correct.
11-6.
I
That's
got
a close game.
swept. Well, last time. 11-6. John is the victor this time. I want to know what you guys got in the game, so please put your scores below in the comments or tweet to us. That's cool too. Try not to spoil it for everybody else. You could just put a score number. Don't say the answers.
Yeah, and yeah, don't spoil like who won out of me or James too early on. Yeah.
True. All right, so now that's over. James, how you feeling?
I think that was the hardest one we've ever done.
Really?
I
I
think-
tried to pick legit quotes.
I will agree
There was-
with that, but I feel like Lacey's been harder before. Lacey's usually the hardest one out of the 3 of us.
Can I
And
just
think-
say what my other quotes were?
I don't know why you do that. Like, why waste them?
Can I just tell you the first one?
All right.
The first one was, what's that sound? Do you know who that is?
C-3PO?
No, Kira in Solo: A Star Wars Story. She says it to L337 in the cockpit when she starts talking about what the maelstrom is.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough.
So I shifted that out.
There
Put it at the
wasn't
bottom.
there wasn't one question I was confident with. In
I'm
fact,
sorry.
the only no, I mean it's not a problem. I'm just saying it. To me, the only ones I legitimately got right were the only ones where I was like, I think it was this person, but literally every other one, no way. I knew any of them. None of them. I don't know.
Well, don't feel bad because now we're going to hand it over to me
Yeah.
to laugh a little bit with Resistance Transmissions.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lacey. It's time for Resistance Transmissions. So the way this works, guys, is every week John puts up a crazy, wacky situation, and you guys give your answers. I don't know what the scenario is. I don't know what you've said. It's all me reading this live. Never seen this before. All right, so the scenario this week is Tarkin is on self-quarantine but doesn't want to pay for Netflix. He orders regional governors to hack people's accounts. Pick any character in Star Wars. What would their Netflix username and password be? All right, first up is Ugnulty at Ugnulty.
Oh, way to get your handle.
And Ugnulty said, "You promised to keep these confidential, right? Username Ugnulty. Password, I have spoken."
That's pretty
Oh,
good.
jeez. Chris Rowe at C Rowe E Rowe. Ooh. He said his was a B1 battle droid, and the username was Roger, and the password is Roger. Doesn't seem very secure.
That's clever.
Next up is Andrew Staley at Deuce_Staley, who said Uncle Owen, and his username is Grumpy Moisture Farmer, and his password is Crispy1.
Oh, man.
That's unexpected from you, Andrew.
Yes.
the crispy one.
Next up is Todd DeGrossier at Todd Knows Best, and he said Baby Yoda's account. How did I know, Todd? Maybe. All right. Username is Aralalduscloth, and the password is I love nerf.
Just gibberish.
Yeah, just baby gibberish. And then it says Din has been on hold with Netflix for 3 hours to get an account reset.
So I took that as Baby Yoda just was screwing around and just hitting buttons
Yeah.
and changing the username and password. To
That's
random.
so funny.
That's what I would think too, yeah.
Yeah.
Next up is Glenn Johnson at Hazy Big, and he said Galen Urso is username It's a Simple Life, password Stardust.
Definitely password Stardust for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next
Stardust.
is Brian Pothier at B Pothier. Brian, I hope you liked that Padme quote. He said Bib Fortuna, and the username is Head Curls for Days. And he said the password is Pale is sexy 111 exclamation point exclamation point.
Pale is sexy.
I mean, I'm pretty pale. So Rick Villanueva at Cad Bane's Bounty said Han Solo, and his account name is Kessel Runner, and his password is hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
There you go.
Well done. I agree. That's what his password would be.
Absolutely. Next up is David Nicely, Star Wars Dad. Oh, that is nice. At David_Nicely. And he said Darth Maul, username Qui-Gon Killer. And the password is Kenobi Sucks.
Bitter, that guy, that mall guy.
I love that. Kenobi Sucks. Next up is Matt Tisher at Matt Tisher, and he said,
This is
Hey.
probably the most real one right here.
Way to get your handle, Matt.
and he said, General Hux. The username is General Hux. Password. Of course.
Yes. General Hux wouldn't bother to set his own password. He would just put in whatever MIT gave him, you know?
Yeah. And last but not least is Rob Bartlett at RB7Rads. And he said Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the username is hello there. Ugh. And the password is you don't need to see my password.
You know what? We don't.
So good.
Not sure why, but
Guys, if you want to be on the show, make sure to follow us on Twitter at RBATSWNN. Every week, John puts up some crazy scenario. And then you guys give your answers, like you did tonight. Because pale is sexy. Back to you, John.
head curls for days. Guys, thank you so much for those tweets. You always make us laugh. And no matter what we're doing, whether it's a game or having a serious discussion, we love ending the show with laughs and having a good time because
We love ending the
That's all
show.
we love ending the show.
We
It's a
just
good
love
point,
being
especially-
done with it.
We went late tonight, so yeah, that's for sure. But thank you all so much for listening and watching, being a part of the TRB community, Star Wars News Net community. Make sure you are subscribed to us on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, Podbean, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you are subscribed because we do 2 episodes a week. And on YouTube, we do a lot of other stuff. James has the Clone Wars fan show, which is continuing tomorrow. So stuff like that. A lot of new shows coming out, and we have new ideas coming. So subscribe, be a part of it. And also, as always, go to StarWarsNewsNet.com every day for your Star Wars news, reviews, editorials, information, and more. If you guys are not sick of us, you heard Lacey talk about it earlier, more exclusive content and a lot of other cool stuff over at Patreon.com/Resistance Broadcast. Become a Resistance officer. One, to just support us. Tiers start at $2 a month. There are 5 tiers. Go check it out at least. And if you see a tier that works for you, that sounds interesting to you, sign up, and we appreciate the support. And also you get a lot of cool perks, access to the page at tier 1 among other things, and then as you climb the ranks, a lot of other fun stuff too, like a group chat with all different sorts of channels. You can become a general and appear on the podcast like Mello did before. It's up to you, but we do appreciate all the support. A special thank you to our generals, speaking of Mello, Carmelo, Andrew Staley, Jeremy Myers, Neil Shaw, David Probus, John Reese, Micah Harrison, Tampa Movie Guy, Michael Gaines, and Val Trichkoff. Generals, thank you so much for all of your support. Couldn't do it without you. We appreciate all of your support. You guys can find me on Twitter at Johnny Hoey and at StarWarsNewsNet.com. James?
You can find me Twitter and Instagram at Myra Trunks, and maybe in the comments section of YouTube around noon today, Eastern.
Yes. Complaining about the rules of Who Are You, among other things.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
There's a mutiny. Every time we play this game, there's some kind of issue, which is funny because it's supposed to be our lighthearted segment.
I had a blast.
It is literally the same complaint I've had since the very beginning. Since the very first show.
My only complaint, if I have to be honest, getting tired of winning.
You are a scoundrel.
That's just a little bit of Han Solo there. I'm just kidding around, guys. Lacey, how about you?
People can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lacey Gillerin, not winning, but being a good host.
Instagram first that time.
Yeah, I don't know. Mixing it up.
So I don't win all the time, though, because there's always people who are our listeners who are like, I got 9 for 9 correct. Like, they are vultures out there. They are, quote, hawks. So good for you guys. Thanks for playing along, of course, and thanks for listening and watching. Enjoy your weekends. We hope everyone's doing well. We know things are still crazy out there, so hang in there. We appreciate you taking some of your time in your self-quarantines, or if you're still out there working, essentially. Whatever you have to be doing out there, we appreciate you taking time and listening and watching us. But we'll be back, as always, on Monday morning with another episode right here on the Resistance Broadcast. See you around, kids.
Bye.